Hi, I'm Shane, and welcome to Frontline Spiritual Warrior 144. Today is November 13th, it's Monday, 2023, and I was just sitting here thinking of something that I read yesterday, Sunday, and I'll read it to you. I'll start with the verses here that I wanted to read. And it's a little bit long, not too bad. But this is out of the book of James. It's chapter 3 and verse 1. Chapter 3, verse 1. All right, so it says, taming the tongue. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways, and if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body. If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ships also. Though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are guided by a very small rudder, wherever the will of the pilot directs. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things. How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire! And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and sea creature, can be tamed and has been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it, we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so. Does a spring pour forth from the same opening both fresh and salt water? Can a fig tree, my brothers, bear olives, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a salt pond yield fresh water. Now start right there. 1 second. Now what this made me think of is some real life problems or instances I came into or that I've experienced with old would-be friends, old colleagues and work and all that, right? One of the things this made me think of, this chapter 3, verse 1 through 18, I think. I can't see that. It might look light in here, but it's really dim. So let me. 12. Okay, sorry, I had that wrong. Made me think of a lot of things actually. Experiences at work where, you know, when you ever get that new job and they take you around to go meet all the people and the players here and there, the other programmers or whatever you do, the other guys on the team or the other departments, and that person that's introducing you also as you're walking is like, yeah, that was so-and-so. It's the strangest thing. They never come out of their room. They don't do this and this and this, you know, and they only drink one cup of coffee, and then after that you never see them. And so you have to realize, oh, that's okay. It's like a bit of extra information that really has neither here nor there, but what you got is a person just kind of gossiping and telling you all these details, their opinion of somebody. And if it's kind of interesting, they'll notice all this stuff. And worse, they're regurgitating it to you. And then, you go meet the next person. They'll introduce you to so-and-so. And, oh, yeah, they just went through a divorce. And, you know, they got the house. It's pretty cool. Plus, they got blah, 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 you know. And So stuff like that made me think of these verses right here that I read in James, the book of James. The thing about that, and I've run into this, experienced this firsthand, where I had a so-called friend, a boss, lesson learned right there, But talking about all these other people, and then I realized later, much later, of course, hindsight's 2020, where any group of people this guy was with, or any number of people, one or two even, or the other co-workers you're used to working with on the team, suddenly they kind of look at you all negative, and I realized this same person, when I wasn't in here or in his immediate vicinity, I was the actual talk. Instead of him talking about someone else, well, that was me, and that's a good, I think, a good lesson to learn from all of this. You talk about others. This is about what did I say? How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire. It's like gossip and all that stuff. The man's just ruining everybody else's, keeping everybody stirred up, and this guy would make the rounds and do this stuff all the time, keep everybody in an uproar. Everybody, after a while, kind of figured this guy out. But by then the damage was done, But that's just one example. Another one is, and why I wanted to make this video. There is this one restaurant new in town, that is a new job again, and one of the guys on the crew said, "Oh, that place, I wouldn't go there if I was paid, man. I went there once and I had a real bad experience and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What the really? The food is really bad." And turns out, a couple of years later, I finally went into this place, and it was really damn good food, really good, And the thing, it was going through my mind. I was like, God, if so and so said that, and I'm like, how did it's like cursing a place by demeaning it and putting it in a bad light, right? Either bless it or curse it, like this just said, from the same mouth. You can either make stuff good or bad, right? So this guy was kind of, I guess, you look at it that way, it was like cursing the place, and I never really realized that had such a negative impact on me when he did this. And I was blown away by this, because he had some issue. I think, I don't know what his deal was. He had he's having a bad day, and then something didn't go right, or I don't know. But I was really impressed with the food. It was very tasty, and now I go back there all the time. So in other words, don't listen don't take, I guess my point on this one here is don't take someone else's advice. If you really want to learn about a place or an individual, especially an individual, someone puts them in a bad light right off the get-go, and you don't know them, that's like a red flag to me now. What you want to do is, if you really want to get to know that person or see how they are, if they're going to be good on your team or whatever it is, interview them yourself. Sit down and talk with them, ask them some points. You be the judge of what that person, if they're a good or bad person, if they can cut the mustard or whatever is being said about them. That's for you to figure out, not someone else's opinion of them, because they might, you don't know what someone else is thinking. If my hair's not green, someone's probably got me, they're all pissed at me right now just watching this video, looking me up and down and whatever, right? That's my point, though, is everyone sees things different, and we're going to view people different. It's unfortunate, but that happens. So that's another point there. Make up your own mind on someone. Don't believe someone else's gossip and hype. And if someone's talking about other people, just wait till you're not around. Guarantee you're next. That's how that works. My opinion, leave that person. Don't tell them a damn thing about yourself. Anything. Guarantee you that everyone else is going to know it. with that kind of people, those kind of people that run around and gotta get everyone's gossip and scoop of things, and they need stuff to talk about. And you're the next one. Guaranteed. If they're talking about someone else, you're next. You are next. And the other part here is I'd had a contract job, and that ended. And then I had I think about 3 months where I'd taken another job, and I don't remember, but it was 6 months. Contract work is programming, right? What these last several years, they call it a new gig and stuff like that, and I don't like that. But anyway, so I come back after this. I think it's about a year, give or take. About a year, and I come back to this another contract job, and where I've known a lot of the people that were working there. And this time when I got a position there, they called me up, and because they needed me on a contract. And this time it was different. It was because someone had been really talking about me, and someone was really jealous. And next thing you know, I was like, God, I felt a very cold environment from day one. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So is the little guy who, I thought he was all that in a bag of chips. He wanted my position. Well, somehow he got it. He usurped me. And next thing you know, I got hired on at a lower position, but I needed a job. Bills aren't going to pay themselves, right? So I took it. Took that job. But I needed the money. I absolutely needed the money. I was in a bad spot. But I'll never forget how cold it was from day to day. Just a shitty place to be when you got someone who's just a backstabbing, one of those, right? And so that goes back into that forest fire thing. So it's unfortunate. I needed the money, but the other thing about that is this person. It didn't matter. I don't know what was said, but it had to have been pretty negative. And the reason why, I was also a combat veteran, where this other person never did anything but just stay with the church, the Mormon church, and just grow with it. Other than he had like a 1 year missionary duty, away from home in another country. And he viewed that as the similar thing to combat. And so he was jealous of me that I went off, and I was in 2 wars for the United States of America here, in the Army, active duty. So this little guy was really jealous of me. And I couldn't understand this. So he made everyone think, and it really put me in a bad light. And by the time I figured all this out at the end, this little shit was gone on the last day when I wanted to kick his ass. Okay? He knew what he was doing. Now it's a whole different ballgame. I don't think like that anymore. I think in the way of Jesus, which is love. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. These people will get what's coming to them. Comes around, goes around. All this stuff comes into play now, but it's not for me to go and enforce it, make it happen. It took me a while to figure that out. A lot of hard staying in my mind and running round and round, because I'd wanted to really fix this guy, get even with him. Vengeance, right? Beat this little son of a bitch to a bloody pulp, in other words. Because I'm the 80s guy. That's how I grew up fighting. We'd handle business either in the bus stop or anywhere, really. Always fists, a lot of fighting. So that was the mentality. Generation X, that's me. Plus combat vet and all this other stuff. And a whole lot more, right? Different things. But this little guy was jealous because all he did was stay with the Mormon church and, like a gopher, I guess. I mean, these... I'll get into these churches, the religions later. I got no use for them. And if you're here, please like, share, and subscribe. This is a good time for it because I'm going to go throw these... I'm gonna rip the veil off these religions. You know. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of this. This is what these verses made me think of. These people and these experiences, and I just wanted to convey or share that with you because you've probably been around people that aren't so friendly. I mean, at least they are maybe to a degree or some point. But then I don't know if you're aware of this stuff, but when people are talking about someone else and knowing all these little things and details about them, and then got to remember they're going to be talking like you or about you just like that. It's a stinging thing when you find this out, So watch what you say to people. I'm just anymore keep to myself. I'm so done with people. And the only one I need is Jesus right now. Yeah. He's helped me greatly. And he can help you too. Anyway, I started going negative here, but some of this stuff really, it'll hit you hard. And by the time you figure this stuff out, you're gonna start thinking like I was. Hopefully you don't, but a lot of you will. Where you're gonna be wanting vengeance on someone. You're gonna be hating them. You're gonna be jealous. You're gonna be envious because they listen to you long enough to learn enough from you to usurp you with your own knowledge, right? Present your idea to the boss, and suddenly they got promoted. You're like, what the? So that's what you get for talking to people. Some of these people are not your friends. And it's sad, but that's the world we live in. So, with the teachings of Jesus, you won't need vengeance. You won't need none of this stuff. You'll know that these people are going to get theirs, one way, shape, or form. It's not for me to decide anymore. These people, they like the rat race. They claw over everyone and lie to people, throw them under the bus, do what they got to do, right, to get ahead. And it's a dog-eat-dog world. And people have been doing that shit too long. And guess what? Heaven sees all. God sees all. They're not going to get away with it. They're not going to get away with it. That's also part of what I wanted to add in here. But hopefully this has made some sense to you guys. It's not all bad. I mean, when all else seems to fail... Remember, God's got you in everything you do. Jesus is always right there. When I need a pickup, as in feeling crappy, and it's not all the time, you don't just sit there and, I'm a happy guy, and you stay there. No, life happens, and you're going to go ups and downs, right? When I get down, this is where I'll pray to Jesus, and it helps. He helps through Holy Spirit. And it takes away the pain, the anger, and sometimes it takes a little time now, but it's a quick prayer. I mean, from the heart, and you really need help, Jesus is there. And so I just wanted to add that in too. That's how I roll, how I work. And I can't say enough good things about Jesus. He's my Savior. So, thanks for watching, guys. God bless, God bless you for watching. Until the next one.